In Parshas Shelach Lecha we learn about the spies who tell the size of the giants they saw in Eretz Yisrael, and Rashi brings, we looked like ants in their eyes. We were so tiny. So this gives us a chance to speak about ants. I was asked an interesting question. A person who found a ton of ants in his bedroom, a place where he normally does not keep food. And he asked, what does this come to tell us? Maybe we should strengthen ourselves in something, but what is it? And I answer that the question itself shows gadlus hanefesh. Normally when people are facing a certain challenge, a certain problem, they complain, and then they try to do something about it. But he understands that everything physical has its roots in spirituality. And therefore we should analyze what the essence of the ant is, and perhaps we'll find something to get strong with. And we're not prophets. We don't have prophets today, but if we see what the ant is all about, perhaps it will give us some kind of a clue what we can do, what the ant comes to awaken us to, and perhaps we can get stronger in that area. So what is the ant all about? In Mishlei Perek Vav Pasuk Vav, Shlomo HaMelech teaches us, Lech el hanemala atzel re'ed drachea v'chacham. Go to the ant, you lazy one. See its ways, and you will become wise. So the ant teaches us not to be lazy. Go quickly. For the service of Hashem, do we run to shul? Do we go quick enough? When the poor person reaches out, are we quick enough to give him the money? Do we make sure to run away from what we're not supposed to see? We have to be quick for the service of Hashem, not to be lazy. Anything that we can do to speed up the process, to do mitzvahs with speed, with enthusiasm, to show that we're excited about it. Perhaps that is what the ant comes to teach us. We should learn Sha'ar Zrizus in Mesilas Yesharim, the ways to acquire Zrizus, or perhaps something else. In Eruvin Daf Kuf Amud Beis Chazal say, Ilemale lo nitna Torah. If the Torah wasn't given to us, we would learn not to steal from the ant. The ant does not steal from its friends. So perhaps the ant comes to teach us to be more sensitive, more caring to the money, to the assets of our friends. The Ger Rebbe said on that Gemara, Baruch Hashem, the Torah was given. Because the Gemara praises the ant for not stealing from its friends. In other words, it's okay to steal from anyone else. Baruch Hashem, Torah was given, and in it it says you shouldn't steal from anyone. But perhaps the ant comes to teach us to be more sensitive to other people's money. There was an amazing medrash in Oitzar HaMidrashim, not to be believed. Shlomo HaMelech, once going with many soldiers by the river, and there's many ants over there, and suddenly he hears one of the ants saying, "Oh ants, return to your place, go home." And Shlomo HaMelech says, "Who said that?" And one ant says, "It was me." Shlomo HaMelech says, "Why was it you and no one else?" And the ant says, "Because I'm the queen." So Shlomo HaMelech says, "So why did you say what you said?" And the ant says, "Well, if you come, all the ants are going to come to see you and all your soldiers, and then we're not going to do what we're supposed to do for the service of Hashem, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be upset and he will kill us." Shlomo HaMelech says, "Can I ask you a question?" And the ant says, "Yeah, but it's not very appropriate that the one who asks should be standing tall, and the one who is asked will be all the way down on the ground." So Shlomo HaMelech raised the ant. And the ant says, still not appropriate that the one who asks will be sitting, because Shlomo HaMelech was sitting at the time, and the one who is asked will be standing. Do you know what I suggest, says the ant? Why don't you hold me under your hand and raise me above your head, and I'll be looking at you. Shlomo HaMelech did that, and the ant says, now you can ask. And Shlomo HaMelech says, tell me, ant, is there anyone greater in this world than me? And the ant says, yes. And Shlomo HaMelech asks, who is it that is greater than me? And the ant says, it's me. And Shlomo HaMelech says, why do you think you're greater than me? And the ant replies, well, you came here with all your soldiers in order to ask me a question, and I am standing higher than you, so apparently I'm greater than you. Shlomo HaMelech got really upset at that answer, and he threw the ant down on the ground. And he says, do you know who I am? I'm Shlomo HaMelech, the son of David HaMelech. And the ant says, yeah, I know that, but don't forget where you come from. Don't forget where you're going. And don't forget HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so don't become arrogant. we see from this medrash that the ant comes to awaken us to this midah, to this character trait of anava, being humble. The ant is a tiny creature. Maybe it suggests to us, don't look at others as if they're tiny, smaller than you. Whether you're more successful, you have more fame, fortune, whatever it is, don't look at others, don't look at them down. The ant comes to awaken us to this midah, not to be bal gaiva, to have humility. There's another medrash in Oitzer HaMidrashim. The Mabit writes the same thing as well. The ant says every day to HaKadosh Baruch Hu a pasuk. Noisen lechem lechol basar ki lo ilam chazdoi. Even though the ant collects a lot of food, and as we said before, it's the opposite of being lazy. However, it realizes that Noisen lechem lechol basar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who gives food to everyone. It's not because of because I'm so strong, I'm so smart, I work a lot. It's not because of that. It's because of Kodesh Baruch Hu decides to give me food. So perhaps the character trait that we are supposed to strengthen is bitachon in Kodesh Baruch Hu, to know that everything is from Him. And perhaps we should learn Sha'ar bitachon and Choyvas Alevavois. In Medrash Rabbah and Dvorim, in Parashat Shoftim, Parashat Hey, the Medrash says that the ant only lives for 6 months, but it collects a ton of food and it barely eats in those 6 months a wheat kernel and a half. That's all it eats. So why does it collect so much food? Because the ant says, well, perhaps HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give me more life. We see from here that we should anticipate, expect HaKadosh Baruch Hu's salvation, hope for His salvation every single day. That perhaps is the message that we can learn from the ants. The Ben Yehoyada in Soita Daf Hey says, one who looks for HaKadosh Baruch Hu and everything that happens to him, wants to find out, what's the measure for measure? Why did this happen to me? He will merit to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He will merit to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu's salvation because he always looked for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Measure for measure, he will be able to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu.